Tesla protests, Elon Musk's controversial government role, and the fallout from his decisions. Hello, I'm Adam Cherry, and this is GBN Originals. So, over the weekend, protesters gathered at Tesla locations across the United States and Europe in what has been dubbed the Tesla Takedown. It's sort of a grassroots movement. It's a direct response, actually, to Elon Musk's role as head of the Department of Government Efficiency. You might know it as DOGE, under President Donald Trump. So protesters accused Musk of using his position to implement sweeping government layoffs and closures, including shutting down agencies like USAID. Now, the demonstrations aimed to hit Musk where it hurts most, his wallet. And with Tesla making up the largest portion of his $340 billion fortune, actually I think it's even more than that now, activists targeted 277 showrooms and service centers globally. Protesters carrying signs like "Honk if you hate Elon" and "Fight the billionaire oligarchy," really creative stuff. It's aiming to tarnish Tesla's reputation and, of course, discourage sales. Now, while most protests have been peaceful, there have been isolated incidents of vandalism, including arson and even gunfire. That's been reported across the US, and it's prompted Attorney General Pam Bondi to label such acts as domestic terrorism. Now, the roots of this protest come from Doge's agenda. So Musk's tenure at Doge has been marked by sweeping efficiency measures. The critics argue undermine federal institutions, otherwise known as cutting back bureaucracy. It's led to what Musk is claiming are necessary moves to modernize government operations and reduce waste. But detractors warn that the cuts are actually disrupting essential services and disproportionately impact vulnerable populations. Just to give you an example, USAID, which is a key agency for international development, or at least that's how it markets itself, has been shuttered entirely under Doge. Remember, Doge has only been in operation since the 20th of January. Here we are on the 1st of April, and it's already closing entire agencies and the Department of Education. So Doge's creation itself was, of course, controversial. It was established by executive order when President Trump took office in January 2025, and it emerged from discussions between Trump and Musk, aimed at modernizing federal tech systems while slashing expenditure, cutting the waste. So his method reflects, I suppose, what he would argue is a kind of entrepreneurial ethos. It's a relentless drive for efficiency, which we saw previously in his other companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and so on. But applying this approach to government has, of course, proven divisive. This is politics after all. See, unlike private enterprises, government programs often serve millions of people, and they depend on those people for their stability. At least that's the theory. That's what critics are saying. Critics are also arguing that Musk's tactics prioritize financial savings over human impact. Now, Tesla's stock has faced significant volatility in the year so far. It actually dropped nearly 40% in Q1 alone due to disappointing delivery numbers and intensifying competition from other rivals. Now, analysts are divided on Tesla's future. Where does it go from here? Price targets ranging from $120 to $550 by year end. So while some see potential in Tesla's advancements in autonomous driving technology, others think its hypergrowth phase may finally be over. So let's now turn to look at Musk himself, because earlier this week, a clip showed up online showing Musk visibly frustrated by the backlash. Take a look.
I kind of thought that we're headed in a good direction for a while there, and then the last month or so, there've been these like crazy violent things happening against Tesla and protesting me and whatnot, and I'm like, this is just nuts, and a lot of people sort of parading signs around saying that that President Trump and Elon Musk should die type of thing, and I'm like, this is really nuts, But I think the real issue is who's organizing and funding that. I'm hopeful that things calm down, that that people engage in dialogue but not violence. For those who do push violence and destruction of property and intimidation, obviously that they need to face legal consequences for that. And the president has said that that needs to happen. Obviously, if people are pushing violence and destruction of property, that is against the law, and they need to face the consequences of that. So.
Okay, so he's calling out his critics directly, describing them as what he calls, what he says anyway, psycho behaviour from vandals targeting Tesla dealerships. And his exasperation is palpable, isn't it? It's obvious. And it's worth noting that while Musk has accused left-wing billionaires of funding these protests, the FBI hasn't actually found any evidence of coordination here. Actually, instead, they attribute vandalism incidents to lone offenders acting on, I suppose, what are personal grievances. Now, the moment highlights Musk's growing frustration with a movement that seems determined to challenge his influence, both politically and economically. Now, I think one of the most surprising developments is how Tesla owners themselves are reacting. I mean, is it surprising is one way of putting it, but given how things have been going in the political discourse in the last 5 to 10 years, maybe this should have been expected. But anyway, social media is, if you look online, it's flooded with images of Teslas now sporting logos of rival car brands. So like Toyota, Honda, Hyundai. So some users, some owners even, they've gone so far as to use stickers saying, "I bought this car before I knew Elon Musk was crazy." So let's have a look at some of those. Okay, right, so this looks like I think it's a Tesla Model Y. It looks like the 4x4. Is that the Mazda icon on the back? The thing with this is it doesn't actually work, does it? Because all the Teslas are so recognizable on the road, even as other car makers catch up a little bit. Okay, this one's more creative. That one's the New York Yankees badge. Very good. And okay, yeah, Toyota. That's a Cybertruck, by the way, which is probably the most recognizable car in the entire US. And we've got a huge Toyota logo on the back. That's going to convince everybody. I mean, I'm fooled. And what is that one? Oh, I know what that one is. That's that's Star Wars. Is that the Galactic Empire or something? Unbelievable. Yeah, Chevrolet, very good. There's Mazda again. Mazda's very popular with all this. Honda, all right. Yeah, and I mean, that one looks quite good. That one looks convincing. He's even got the A5 logo on there. So it's a little bit more of a high effort post, that one. Again, back to the Toyota Cybertruck. Okay, good fun. These cars cost a lot of money, by the way, which is probably why you can't get rid of them so quickly now that your politics doesn't align with the chap who created it. But never mind. So why are they doing this? Well, I suppose Tesla drivers worry that their cars could become targets for vandalism because of their association with Musk. Maybe others just want to distance themselves from an increasingly polarizing political climate, which is one way of putting it. I'm sorry, you drive a Tesla, it's too late. You either sell it or you won't up to it. But the rebellion, this quiet rebellion, underscores a broader shift in public perception. Owning a Tesla it's no longer about driving an electric car. It's a political statement. These used to be all the rage. I mean, Brad Pitt used to own one of these things about 8 to 10 years ago when electric cars were new. You'd love to be seen in a Tesla. It was a status symbol. Now, it basically signals, at least if you're driving it through Hollywood, that you vote Republican, which is as good as saying you are the most evil person on earth. Anyway, so the protests against Tesla are part of a larger reckoning within Musk's influence in both politics and business. So as Doge continues its agenda, and at least in some quarters, public sentiment towards Musk sours, certainly on social media, Tesla's facing mounting challenges, declining sales, and to a certain extent, brand erosion, especially from the guy who's putting Toyota on the back of his instantly recognizable Tesla Cybertruck, which costs what? I don't know, over $100,000, if not more. Anyway, for now, Musk remains defiant, but as these protests grow louder and all these former loyal customers begin covering up their logos, it's obvious that his dual role as a CEO and a government official are testing the limits of what's possible here. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on things. Thank you for watching. If there are any more Tesla Cybertrucks which get vandalized, you'll be the first to know about it because you will subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel for more. Stay tuned.